Hi everybody, myself Dr. B. Khalilur Rahman, working as Associate Professor in Nallamalla Reddy Engineering College. Today, in a series of lectures on FPGA programming, today is the 10th lecture. Under the Unit 2, we are discussing the last learning outcome, that is LO5. So far in the second unit, we have been discussing the universal design methodology that normally we will be calling it as a VLSI design flow. We have seen a design methodology in learning outcome 1, learning outcome 2, then learning outcome 3. And then in the learning outcome 4, we discussed how to write a simple VHDL code. We have seen the libraries, the entity declaration, and the architecture declaration. We have seen an example of a simple VHDL code. And before that, we have seen why we require a hardware description language, the two hardware description languages, that is Verilog and VHDL. We discussed our discussion with respect to the VHDL in the previous lecture. We have seen the history of VHDL. Then we see the syntax of entity, syntax of the architecture. Now in this learning outcome 5, let us discuss the VHDL data types and operators. So we'll be starting with the operators, then we will discuss the data types of the VHDL. I'll be just sharing my screen. We are discussing the learning outcome 5 of the FPGA programming, the last learning outcome in unit 2. So coming to the VHDL operators, I already discussed that in the previous lecture. We discussed with respect to the VHDL. VHDL stands for Very High Speed Integrated Circuit Hardware Description Language. And we have the logical operators. Then we have the relational operators. We have the shift operators. We have the adding operators. We have the multiplying operators. And then we have the miscellaneous operators. All together are the VHDL operators. So if I talk about the logical operators, we have the logical AND, OR, NOT, XOR, XNOR, and the universal gates NAND and NOT. Or these gates are the logical operators. Let us discuss in the next slide. These are all the logical operators. Logical AND. For example, if I give this expression, this is my AND gate. This is my AND gate. Okay. This is my input A. This is another input B. And my output Y. This is my output Y. So the logical operator AND operator. So I can write the output Y like this. This is an assignment operator. A and B. A and B. This should be ended with a semicolon. Okay. Where actually we are writing this. This is our logic. We are writing after the begin and before the end behavior. Under the architecture description, we have seen a simple VHDL code in a previous lecture. Under the architecture, we will be discussing these things. Y assignment, this is assignment operator. This is the left side and this is the right side. A and B has been assigned to Y. Okay. Similarly, OR, instead of AND, if you use OR, the symbol for the OR, that will be your logical OR operation. We will be simply using here OR. This is a VHDL code. And then NAND, instead of and we will be using an and. Okay, we will be using an and then we have nor. The negation of or is nor. The negation of and is uh, we have been discussing this all the logical operators. Similarly, we are having XOR, XNOR, not for a single input. And NAND or NOR are not associative property. It need proper parenthesis. For example, X NAND Y NAND Z. It is an illegal. What should be there? There should be a parenthesis. There should be a parenthesis for X here. There should be a proper parenthesis here like this. This is the correct way of writing for NAND and NOR. Okay. Now we will move to the relational operators. We have the equal to operator, not equal to. This is the less than. This is the less than or equal to. This is the greater than, and this is greater than or equal to. Okay. Then we have the shift operators like SLL. This is for the shift left logic. SRL, it is a shift logical right. If I write this command SLL1, it will shift left by 1 bit. If I write SLL S or L2, it will shift right. Right side, it will shift by 2 bits. Next, we have the SLA, shift arithmetic left, SRA, shift arithmetic right. Then we have ROL for rotating left, ROR for rotating right. These are all the shift operators that are associated with the VHDL. Then we have the adding operators. Adding operators, addition. For example, if we have the output like Y, this is an assignment operator. A plus B. Remember that OR is another gate, OR is a logical gate. This is the arithmetic operators, A and B. Then I will end the semicolon. So if I have a single bit, B a single bit, it is possible. If I have a multi-bit and B multi-bit also, it is also possible. Okay, addition operation. Similarly, we have a subtraction like this, A minus B, where A and B are the inputs and Y is the output. And this ampersand symbol is used for the concatenations, means to add, to merge. For example, B is 0, that is a single inverted commas, and 1. And 1 means 0, 1, 1. It will, in the output, it will write, it will print 0, 1, 1. If I put 0 and 1, if you remove this one, then it will show in the output 0, 1. This is used for the concatenation. Okay, ampersand symbol. Then we have the multiplying operators, like this is for the multiplication, the asterisk for the multiplication. For example, Y, I am using A asterisk B. This is a asterisk B. If A is a 4-bit and B is a 4-bit, it will multiply 4-bit into 4-bit. Similarly, this is for a division, A divided by modulus. For the modulus, 4 mod 3, if I write, that is 1. If I use minus 4 mod 3, that output will be minus 1. Then for the remainder, we will be using REM. The miscellaneous operators, we have ABS for the absolute value, the double asterisk for the exponentiation. Okay. The order of the precedence should be like this. First, the highest priority is for the miscellaneous. Whatever the miscellaneous operators we have, that is for the first priority. Then we have the multiplying operators. Multiplying is the second most priority. The multiplying, this one. Then we have the adding, then we have the shifting, then we have the relational, and then we have the logical. This is the order of precedence for the VHDL program. Then what we have? We have the data types. The data types, we have a predefined data types and the user defined data types. Predefined data types means that is incorporated with respect to the VHDL libraries. So if I use a bit, these things we are all aware, library is 1076, standard and 1164, these are the standard libraries. So bit means a single bit data, either 0 or 1. If I use for a bit vector, then it is a multi-bit data. Multi-bit data is used in a double inverted quotes. For example, if you want to write 0, 0, 1, 0, then we have to use the double inverted. This is what? This is 3 down to 0. That is what here written. 0 to n minus 1. This is a 4-bit data. We will be writing 3 down to 0 or 3 down to 0 or 3 down to 0. We will be writing 3 down to 0. This is always in the double quotes. Okay. Next, we have, these are all the data types. If we use a bit, that is a 0, 1, a bit vector, as I told you that this is for a multi-bit data. Boolean is either true or false. Character, if you have a ASCII character, like we have American Standard Code for Information and Interchange. We have all the special characters and as well as the alphabets. There is a unique ASCII code for that one. For example, A is there. A, capital A, is having a unique ASCII code with a 8-bit number. Okay, that one also you can write. For a single character, use a single inverted commas like this. If it is a multi characters, then you have to use a double inverted commas in order to represent a character in a VHDL. Then we have integer. The integer 32-bit integer means 2 raised to 32 to that value. If it is a natural, means 0 to that maximum value. If it is a positive, means 1 to that maximum value. 2 raised to 32. 2 raised to 32. Integer is supporting a 32 bits. 2 raised to 32, whatever the value we are having, that value, 0 to that value, and for a positive, 1 to that value. Then apart from this, what we have, std underscore logic, std underscore u logic. If I talk about a std underscore u logic, then we have std underscore u logic. You will be having a 1 for logical level high, 0 for logical level 0. If you are using, there are, if you are using the don't care, then simply hyphen. Then we are having u for unknown, x is there, then z is there, then w is there. Z is for high impedance, weak impedance. Then we are having low, high. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. There are 9 values that are associated with the std underscore u logic. This is a command we will be using, std underscore u logic. So all these are the simulatable. All these we can simulate. Std underscore, this is u logic. U logic. L. Std underscore u logic. Okay. There are we'll be using only logical level high, logical level 0. This is for the don't care condition. This is for the undefined. Okay, this we will not use. This is the impedance, and this is for the low, high, weak, high. Okay, so that's all for today. We have discussed a brief introduction about the VHDL operators, and we have also seen the data types of the VHDL. Okay, this ends the learning outcome 5 under the unit 2. In the unit 2, we have discussed the first 3 learning outcomes are about the universal design methodologies. Then we have discussed the VHDL code. We have discussed the syntax, that is the entity syntax, architecture syntax, library declarations in the learning outcome 4. And in the learning outcome 5, we have discussed the VHDL data types and the VHDL operators. Okay, that's all for today's lecture. We will be discussing the next 11th lecture in the series of FPGA programming that will be with the 3rd unit. Thank you all.